Hello, everybody. My name's James. Welcome back to another Planet FPL Clash of the Correspondents. And all the free hitters want to steam into Aston Villa this week. But should they? Firstly, let me introduce you to our Villa correspondent. It's Lee Jackson. How you, Lee?
Very good, mate.
Good man. I don't know if he'll tell you to buy Villa assets, but I'm sure our Wolverhampton Wanderers correspondent, Bradley Parker, probably will. How are you, Bradley?
Couldn't be happier.
Oh, that was said through some serious gritted teeth. Lee, last time we spoke to you was before you went to Liverpool. You lost there. No one else loses to them anymore. That's a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah, some things never change, you know. We always rock up at Anfield and roll over and have our belly tickled.
Do you remember when we spoke with Lewis prior to you playing at Fulham? We was like, if this next 2 weeks goes bad, what the conversation is. And I also recall us then at that stage saying, but even reassessing targets for the season.
Mm,
You're fourth.
yeah, I mean, at that point though, you would have never thought we were going to go on the run that we've gone on, winning 7 out of 8 in the Prem. Um, yeah, it's been quite a turnaround. Um, whether that's all been down to skill or whether there's been a bit of luck involved along the way, I think definitely there's been some. Certainly, from an XG point of view, if you're that way inclined, there's been a lot of long range chances that have ended up going in the net and a bit of fortune. But we'll take it. We're fourth in the league. It's a brilliant position to be in. If you'd have offered us that before the start of the season, we'd have been buzzing. But to be there after starting so badly is quite remarkable.
So what's changed? Is it luck or consistent lineup? What has changed? Because 6 wins in seven, no matter the opposition, would be good. But
Yeah,
there's victories in there like beating City and Bournemouth at home, winning at Tottenham.
yeah. I
Stop
think
laughing.
there's a proportion of luck involved, but I think also you look at the two that we lost early on in the season, and Kamara missed both of them. I think it reinforces how big he is for us. Um, and having Torres back in over Mings, they're two very different centre backs. If you're up against someone that's going to pump balls into the box all day, you'd rather have Mings there. But for these sort of games that we've had, where you want someone that's going to put a foot on the ball and play out from the back and maybe pick out a long ball, Torres has been brilliant for that, starting the attack from the back.
Yeah, I think it's had a help with that build from the left hand side. You mentioned some data, Lee. You know it, I take it.
Which date is that?
Got an XJ where you rank in the league, and we are pre-recording on Monday night prior to Manchester United against Everton. Or although this doesn't affect this stat in any way,
No, I don't. Go on.
you are 18th for XG in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, not good, is it?
Wolves is better,
There you go.
genuinely.
Yeah,
And
Wow.
you know which shit club sandwiches the two of you, don't you?
you could take a guess.
You
There's only
can.
one club you'll be calling shit,
But
James.
it's not just about XG, is it? It's about XA as well, isn't it? Expected goals conceded. That's a little better, Lee. That takes you all the way up to 14th.
Yeah, it's still not good, is it? So
So,
yeah,
is what we're seeing here is this because I've spoken about this a lot with Tottenham in terms of seeing some of the results that were forthcoming for them.
mm.
Should we expect a downturn in your results here because of some of this?
I think there'll be a bit of that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to keep winning 6 out of 7. If we do, we're going to be in a title challenge, aren't we? But um, I don't see that. I think there is going to be a bit of regression back. I think at the start of the season we were a bit unlucky, and I think in recent weeks we've been a bit lucky. So I think there will be a drop off. Whether that will be immediate and whether that will be drastic, I'm not sure. I think we've had a few players this season that have really stepped up significantly compared to last year. Cash and Dean have both been superb. And then Marlon and Buendia, who both, well, Buendia was out on loan and Marlon didn't feature that much last season. We spoke a bit about Emery's resistance last season to want to play Marlon, it seemed like, whereas this year he seems very willing to take off Watkins after 60, 70 minutes and bring Marlon in because Marlon keeps on delivering when he comes off the bench.
Okay, we'll definitely talk some more of them individuals in a bit. Bradley, firstly, reflection on Vitor Pereira now that he has left the club.
Uh, Left quite a big mess in the end, really.
Don't they all, though?
I know at this one we gave full keys to the football club, didn't we? We gave him his own shitty director of football.
Who's now also gone, right?
Yeah, thank
Yep.
goodness. So, been a bit of a disaster in the end, really. and the players fell out with him, so as usual. So,
And talk to me about that day when it looked like Gary O'Neill was going to be reappointed.
they definitely backed down on that. They definitely asked him. I think they tried to save face about that, but apparently after the Fulham match, Jeff Shea did actually meet Gary O'Neill in person. That's just embarrassing, isn't it? Really, I don't know. It'd be worse O'Neill for taking it or she offering it.
You've taken the question out of my mouth, and you're saying you don't know the answer.
I don't know what. To be fair, for O'Neill, I think it'd be more embarrassing because he's already been there and he knows exactly what.
I mean, you do it. It's not unheard of managers to go back to clubs that they've been sacked by, but within a year.
Yeah, exactly. Has that ever happened before?
Not in our league, I don't think, anyway. I'm sure it probably has. Darren Ferguson's managed Peterborough about 84 times, hasn't he? That probably has happened there at some point. But yeah, I can't recall that happening in the Premier League. Almost like an acknowledgement it was a mistake, or like they'd forgotten how bad it got. Like when you lost at home to Ipswich and Cunha was nicking your man's glasses from the Ipswich coaching team and stuff. Like he had to go at that point as well, didn't he?
Yeah. So I think they definitely looked on social media after that. I think they would have gone through with it if there wasn't such a huge kickback.
But who was the kickback from? Was it from the supporters? Was it from the players?
Supporters and some players didn't want him back. And I know one specifically would be Andre, because for some reason he had a weird thing about not playing him. He definitely want him back.
Well, Pereira had a weird thing about leaving him and João Gomez out on occasion as well, mate. Okay. So Rob Edwards, to the outside, it's kind of been, a lot of people don't understand why he's gone from Middlesbrough to Wolves. There's obviously an attachment there. Yeah. Like, how close is the fan base to Edwards? Was it something that's been kind of lit up in the media as more than it is?
I feel like it's been something that's been lit up in the media. He made I think he just made shy of 100 appearances here as a player. I wouldn't say he left like a big mark or anything like that. He's a bit before my time anyway, really. But my uncle says he was just all right. But he's from, I think he was born in Telford. He's coached through the academy and stuff and like that. So he does care about the football club, and if he wants to live closer to home, then I can understand it. I think the media has also been a bit weird about it. Like, no manager's ever left a job in the middle of the season before. Like, they're acting like Rob Edwards has done something evil to Middlesbrough, which is a bit weird. Then Middlesbrough are also now stealing a manager off another club, but that's okay for them to do that.
That's the way of the world, mate. If Rob Edwards keeps you up this year, mate, he might be getting offers for different Premier League jobs and doing the same to you, mate.
Right, so manager of all time, no debate. If you get this crap up,
you happy with that appointment?
I think looking at how bad it is, probably the best we can do. At least it's somebody that understands the crowd, I guess, and just the basics of like trying to get Molyneux back on side. The results probably won't upturn too much just because he really has inherited a pile of crap. The squad, it's not built to do anything. It can't sit deep and hit on the break because it's got no pace. It can't press high up the pitch because it doesn't have the personnel to do it. It can't play through lines. It can't. The only thing we can do, which is what we saw on Saturday now, is just put the ball wide and cross and hope for the best.
So what we saw on Saturday, was that two up front, proper up front?
Yeah.
So it was basically what, 5-3-2 or 3-5-2?
3-5-2, kind of like how he was at Luton with was it Colton Morris and Adebayo?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, so it was kind of like that, except that they do have Jackson Chachua right back with and Manetzi. So basically playing with 9 men from the start. So useless on the ball.
I know you love Manetzi. Difficult question. How bad are you?
Probably, I mean, I've seen them get relegated to League One back to back, but honestly, there's players that was in the league that got relegated to League One that are taking this team right now. So it's probably the worst Wolves team I've probably seen, because I'm seeing players like they can't play football. Honestly, it's amazing they've got to this level. I can't believe it. Really.
What percentage chance would you give of staying up?
0.
There has to be a 1% in there.
There doesn't.
It has to be.
No way. There's no way to stay up.
Some people are already beginning to get the dreaded, oh, is it Derby? Could Wolves be the Derby? Is that on your mind?
Yeah, I can see that happening. In the words of Mick McCarthy, it can't get any worse, can it?
It can. Yeah, you had Mick McCarthy, so you should know, mate.
Bring him back.
The data suggests, Bradley, it's not that bad. All right. Higher XG than Villa this season. In fact, of the three of us on this podcast, you've got the highest XG of the three of us, the clubs we support. You have a higher XG than Tottenham, a higher XG than Aston Villa. In terms of expected goals conceded, there are three teams worse than you. Burnley, West Ham, Nottingham Forest doesn't count because it did have Ange Postecoglou for a small period. But technically, it's worse. In terms of expected goal difference this season across the 20 teams, Bradley, you would not be in the bottom three. There are three teams worse than you. Burnley, Sudge's West Ham, and I won't tell you the other name. You can all just laugh at it.
Is it Spurs?
It is. And Villa are 16th on that. So data-wise, you know, you're not the worst team in this league, mate. I've realised the results and the league table says that to us at the moment, and realistically, none of us think that you're going to stay up. The data suggests that you're not that bad. You're bad, but you're not the worst.
I need to know how we're scamming this data, because like, if you watch it, we know we're not going to score any goals half the time.
Well, I'm not quite sure either, Bradley, because you got tratted by Man City on opening day. You lost at Bournemouth with 10 men, narrowly, but I think probably rightly. You can see some shitty chances to Everton when you lost 3-2. You lost narrowly at Newcastle. You didn't actually play too badly that day. You could have scored like in the first minute.
That's where all XGs come from.
You conceded 3 to Leeds in the first half, which feels like half of their data this season. Okay, this is where it probably gets better, Bradley, because you should have won at Tottenham. You would have deserved to win that game. You also were leading against Brighton, and arguably a bit unlucky that day.
No, they weren't.
Okay. Beat at Sunderland, bad. Beat at home to Burnley, bad. Demolished at Fulham, demolished at Chelsea. Played okay for an hour at the weekend, lost. Though I'm not sure either. But I suppose other than the City game opening day, and Fulham also has the mitigating, you were down to 10 men for the majority of the game. And even Chelsea was 0-0 for a long time. I don't know. How bad is it?
Like,
data suggests it's not.
I don't know.
Bradley, the data suggests that my team is worse than yours.
Do you want to swap squads?
No. I did think about it for a second, just because you've got João Gomez and I'd quite like him. Other than that, probably no.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Ignore the data, look at the table, and just watch. If you look at the threads I recently retweeted from the weekend, it just highlights like Chachu and Manetzi, like on the ball quality. Just watch that. Like, we're not, if they're going to play every week, then I mean, especially when we're going to play a wing back system, one of them can't cross or go forward. So then we just got the left back who we can't pass to because Totti's decided that because Aït-Nouri's not there, he can't pass over there. So he's been found out a bit now with that. He's just passed to Aït-Nouri really quick all the time. Now Totti's kind of second guessing.
It highlights even bigger what we said in the summer. The losses of Aït-Nouri and Semedo would be felt very, very badly, unfortunately. Lee, neutral perspective, give them any chance?
Slim, but definitely not zero. I mean, you've been here before, Bradley, where you've been 10 games into the season.
No, it's not been 2 points after 12 games.
No, but you've been winless after 10. Was that last season or the year before?
Last season it was the same, but now I think it's now officially our worst ever start. But then we still have guys like Aït-Nouri, Semedo, Cunha that, the ball carriers, good in possession, can actually build some pressure on teams. Now, hit and hope. And Larson has just disappeared as well. He probably wants to go. Well, we know he wants to go. So,
in hindsight, should the club have let him go?
Only with hindsight, you say yeah, but at that moment, you just couldn't.
I get that.
Because you don't think it was going to be this bad. We knew we'd probably struggle a bit, but not to the extent.
Do you think there's any players that could go in January, like Larson? João Gomez has been some links to Man United over the weekend.
I think Gomez and Andre could go, to be honest. They may as well get the money from now, or they can get a bit more. I wouldn't blame Andre and Gomez for going because they need to go to the World Cup in the summer. They're not going to get picked at all if they stay here.
But I suppose if you did have some decent results to even make it visible between now and New Year, that then feels different then, doesn't it?
Yeah,
if you lost every game between now and New Year, then they might as well go.
Yeah, if it's visible, they keep on. But if not, then I would just let them go because they deserve better to be playing in this crap, to be fair. So don't blame them.
What you've got now, unfortunately, Bradley, is this awkward thing that Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton, and others prior to them have had, where everybody home and away is now looking and going, got to beat them.
Oh yeah, easily. Like I'll just turn up knowing we're going to lose now. There's literally no belief. I don't think any fans believe. Like you can tell in the ground.
But
Like
if I said to you now, you get a draw at Villa at the weekend, you happy with that?
Yeah, but I'd be amazed. I don't know how they do that because Villa's home record's great.
So Lee, what if I say to you, if you don't win at the weekend?
Not good. Wouldn't be happy.
I get that. It's obvious. Listen, I watched my team get pretty much outplayed by Wolves for 45 minutes, mate. So
yeah, you are right though, James. It is at that point though where every team expects to beat Wolves, unfortunately, and that's the expectation going in. And if you're not winning with 10, 15 minutes to go, it's not good, and people are going to be continuing to throw the kitchen sink at it.
Does that influence potential selection on Sunday? You've got Young Boys Thursday, trip to Brighton Wednesday, Arsenal at home the following Saturday. Like it's the dreaded kind of Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday stuff. Is Wolves the game that you take the chance on? You could argue it'd be Young Boys, but that's the first game. So across Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, I mean, other than Mr. Indestructible, how many players do we actually think play and start Wolves, Brighton, and then Arsenal?
I mean, yeah, it's a tough question. We've seen this season so far that for the Europa League, we tend to bring in 4 or 5 players. So your Matson, Gesson, Sancho, Bogards will come in, and even Bizot on occasion. But with it being Premier League, I think it's far more likely that we see people getting early subs.
He's missed that, hasn't he, Bradley?
Yeah, I was waiting. I was waiting.
Carry on, sorry.
Yeah, we've seen. I think it's more likely we'll see early subs in the next 3 games than we will resting players from the 11. You might see 1 or 2 where I think throughout this season we've seen Marlon and Buendia kind of swapping who's first choice, who's not. So you could see those 2 rotate. Dean and Matson we've seen kind of rotate. There isn't a massive drop off in quality between those 2. And if Onana's fit, you could see Onana coming in for Tielemans or Kamara or McGinn. But I don't see us making wholesale changes. It's a Premier League match at the end of the day. If Emery makes 4 or 5 changes and then we lose to Wolves, he's getting pelters, isn't he?
Part of the chance you take, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't see it though.
Okay. I know it's not a big rivalry between the 2 clubs, but does that play in any way?
I don't think so. I think he'd treat it like any other game.
Okay. Any chance of Harvey Elliott getting any minutes across this 4 games in 9 days?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine at this point. Emery was asked about it last week in the press conference, and he said, I've got no issues with Harvey Elliott. We've just got people that are performing better than him at the moment. The one thing I would say, which I think is maybe being overlooked a little bit, is we've seen this a lot with Emery, where players that come in take a long time before they make it into the starting 11. Tielemans didn't start for us for a long while, and Nana didn't feature that much last season, even when he was fit. Matson still isn't first choice, and he was signed a long while back now. So I think Emery really does like to, when he signs players, give them time to learn his system. This is how we play. This is how I want you to play. This is your role. So there could be a bit of that. That being said,
there's flips to that, isn't there? Like Morgan Rogers, come from Middlesbrough.
Yeah, there is.
But a lot of people thought you'd overpaid for a player they hadn't heard from the Championship. Boom, he's in the team pretty quickly. So
he really is the exception, though. There aren't many. You look at, I mean, the 11 that we put out a few weeks ago, I think they said that 8 of them were there before Emery started. There's still a lot of those players that aren't even Emery signings. So yeah, it's not looking good for Harvey Elliott, though, is it?
He's not featured for a minute since we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, and you mentioned this potential clause that if he played a certain number of games, I think it's 10, and you've got to pay Liverpool about 35 million. That's now been well reported by many media outlets since then as well. Yeah. So what's happening is it sending back to Liverpool in January?
I think the most likely thing is that he will get either sent back in January or sent back at the end of the season.
Okay. What Villa players you got in FPL, Lee?
None.
Bradley?
None.
What Wolves players you got, Bradley?
0.
It's a shock. Lee?
Yeah,
Are you
no.
sitting there with like Sam Johnson or like Agbadu or
No, sorry, afraid not. No.
if anybody is Bradley, if anybody is still sitting there with Agbadu, for example, it might be one or two. Is that move on?
Yeah, just move on.
Okay.
There's way better players at that price, isn't there?
Okay. Larson was a bit of a darling earlier this season prior to injury. Any reason to keep an eye on that? No,
No.
right. I knew those answers. I'm not going to ask you anymore. Right, Lee, are you buying any Villa players this week?
No.
Are you playing a chip this week?
No.
Bradley, are you buying any Villa players this week?
I might buy Morgan Rogers, to be fair.
Are you using the chip this week?
Only got bench boost left, so no.
Okay. So Morgan Rogers is the man to talk about, I think, Lee. 2 goals at Ellen Road at the weekend.
Yeah.
I said on the Game Review podcast on Monday, he's going in every free hit team. Is that right?
Yeah, I think if you're on free hit, sorry, Bradley, I think that's fair. At 6.8, I think it's a really good price because you know what the potential is, unfortunately, in this one fixture.
Okay. What about someone like me who's on wildcard?
I think given the 5 transfers that you're going to get in a couple of weeks, you can go there if you want. But I do think 6.8 is a bit much for him.
Hold on, you just said it was a good price. Make mind up.
I think it's a good price on free hit. But if you're talking about wildcard, it's different. I think 6.8, you're looking around at that sort of price. I've got Sarr, who hasn't been great, but I'd still put more money on Sarr to score a goal in any given fixture than Morgan Rogers over the course of a season.
Rogers also presumably is not going to the African Cup of Nations.
No, he's not. But we are getting 5.
I love the fact you were like, "What nationality is he? Is he all right?" He's English, mate.
We're getting these transfers though, so we're all going to have to make some moves. I bought Sarr last week for that exact reason. I looked at the next 4 and went, "Yeah, I'm going to have to sell him, but I'm going to have transfers to use anyway, so I don't mind that."
So that's interesting. So because Leeds was a good fixture for you on paper last week as well, you decided Sarr over Rogers at that point, or was Rogers not on radar this time last week?
He wasn't really on radar, to be honest, just because his underlying data hasn't been great either. Like in terms of XG, we obviously know that he scored that free kick at the weekend. He scored another long-range goal earlier in the season, didn't he? So, yeah, it's not been like he's getting tap-ins and constantly getting chances and missing them. He's been quite clinical with some low XG chances.
Why do you think that is?
I
don't mean the clinical with the chances from long range recently. I mean the lack of XG across this season.
I think part of it has been about game state, that when we've got ahead, we've sat on it. A bit like the Leeds game at the weekend. It got to 2-1, and those last 10 minutes were nervy. We could have easily conceded and ended up drawing 2-2. And there's been quite a bit of that, I think, partly because of our panic of how badly we started the season, that when we get ahead, we've tried to shut up shop. And because of that, then Rogers doesn't end up, well, none of them end up getting particularly much XG and many chances. Rogers is still the man, though. I think if you want a Villa attacker, if you're on free hit this week, or if you're on wildcard and you desperately want some Villa, it is Rogers over Watkins.
Expecting goal involvement last season from 37 starts, just under 38. Sorry, just under 12. I don't know why I said 38. That would have been good, wouldn't it? Just under 12. So you're looking at expected goal involvement. So 1 every 3.
Yeah.
Realistically. Expected goal involvement this season, 1.9. Started every game.
Yeah, so lower than 1 in every 3. So yeah,
so it's regressing, but I think that data-wise, it's also showing about the team.
Yeah, I think it is.
Is there a consequence here on other players within that team? I.e., last season you had people like Asensio, Rashford towards the end of the season, and Watkins. Is he on it? Is he not on it? Is he out of form? Is he playing okay, but just not getting returns?
To me, who's been watching Villa every week this season, I think Watkins doesn't look quite right.
Injured? Do you think maybe might be carrying something?
Well, that was what we heard from Tuchel, wasn't it? That part of the reason why he didn't go away with the England squad was because he's been managing an injury, was what the Birmingham journalists were reporting. So yeah, maybe it is that, but even if he is carrying an injury, he looks so low on confidence. I mean, if you watched him against Leeds at the weekend, every time he got the ball, it just seemed to not quite click for him. He just looks a bit lost out there at the moment. When he scored against Fulham, a lot of us sort of thought, okay, fine, he's got a goal now. Maybe that will settle his nerves and he'll go on his runs. Because he does have a habit of going a while without scoring and then suddenly he'll score 4 on the spin. But it doesn't look like it. He really doesn't look right to me.
One attacking return in nearly 1,000 minutes.
Mm.
Data's better than Rodgers, by the way.
Yeah. End of last season, he didn't look right either. He didn't have a strong finish to the season in terms of goals.
Is he just regressing? How old is he? 31 soon.
Yeah, maybe there's a bit of that as well. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, there's been a lot of people suggesting or asking whether Watkins could come out of the team. I don't think we're at that point yet. I think his off the ball work is still incredible. The amount of distance he covers. And Emery loves him. I don't think we're at that stage yet. So if you're looking at Daniel Marlon at 5.3 or 5.4, whatever he is, I don't think you can go there just because you're not going to get those starts regularly.
No, I think if you're buying an attacking player or on wildcard, it's probably only Rodgers. There is a small case, I think, of maybe if you wanted to take a 1 week punt for Watkins and then chain that onto Voltemade or Mateta in 14, if that's what you wanted to do because you were just trying to chase the Wolves fixture, fine. You know what you're doing. You're punting it. But I think realistically, of the attacking players, it's just Rodgers at the moment for those investing. But with that 1 week punt in mind, Lee, should free hitters go for Watkins?
Yeah, I don't hate that. You know the potential's there. You know he's a good player. I mean, that effort he had against Leeds at the weekend, he had one shot and it very nearly went in. So there's always the potential. So yeah, as a one-off, again, sorry, Bradley, but in this one fixture, you can go for it if you're on free hit.
So if you were on free hit this week, what would you be looking at, do you think, for Villa players? Are you going a treble up, do you think?
I think you've got to. Just based on what other fixtures are out there as well.
But is Watkins with a great fixture better than someone else with a more difficult fixture that's scoring 1 in 2?
That's the $1 million question.
You know, for example, is Watkins at home to Wolves better than putting a couple million in the bank and going Welbeck away to Forest or Voltemade away to Everton?
That's a tough one. That's tight.
Or Mateta against United in terms of more similar value.
Yeah, I think Mateta at United I would go.
Because if you're free hitting this week, presumably you're going Haaland and Thiago. So there's either no more or one more. And then is Watkins the best of the rest of that, I guess?
Yeah. Or if you want to go 3 Villa, do you go Martinez, Cash, Rodgers? That's where I'd go, I think.
All right, Bradley, you think you score at Villa Park this weekend?
No, probably not.
Brilliant. Okay, let's consider double defense then. So is Cash the best of the defensive guys at the moment?
Yeah,
he ain't great for Defcons, Lee. So
no one's good for Defcons at Villa, as we know. But I mean, Cash is the best of a bad bunch, and again, that is a free hit recommendation. That is not a if you're looking to make a transfer this week.
I'd see a few people talking about going him.
I don't like it. Like we've said before, I just think Defcons are such a big part of this game now, and his attacking returns this season are unsustainable, in my opinion.
Torres is at 2 in 6. Admittedly and intriguingly, those have come against Burnley and Leeds. Wolves.
If Mings gets back to fitness, though, at any point, he could be out that 11.
But again, free hitter, Pau Torres 4.3. We mentioned on yesterday's COTC about Kevin Danso. Same price, almost certain to start for Tottenham against Fulham because Christian Romero is suspended. Pau Torres, Mings absent, presumably plays, 4.3. Torres is a better pick this week than Danso, isn't he?
Coin toss, maybe.
Bradley?
No, it'd be Torres. Fulham have got the capability to score, ain't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've just told you all the data on Tottenham. What about Buendia? I've had a few people asking about him again to invest in, Lee. Or does someone like him, does it come down a lot to the minutes on Thursday night? Is there a read of, for example, perhaps a different question, Watkins plays 90 minutes on Thursday, Marlon doesn't get on, hypothetical, are you then confident that Marlon at 5.1 starts against Wolves?
No,
Okay.
no,
So there's no circumstance where you'd be confident that Marlon starts.
no.
What if Buendia got a break Thursday night?
If Buendia gets a break Thursday night, I think he'll start on Sunday. I think he will start against Wolves. I think Buendia is first choice now in our strongest 11, playing on the left as he has done this season, and he's looked good.
Does that change though after coming off at half time yesterday?
No, I don't think so. I think he had a bad game, but I don't think he's lost his place or anything.
He's only played in the Premier League this season over an hour twice.
Mm. Yeah, this is the issue you're going to keep having with Villa forwards, is that Emery loves a 60th minute sub or a 70th minute sub, and he regularly makes 5 subs in a game.
Buendia's had, I'm just looking here, 58, 57, cut the 45-minute appearances.
Mm. And even where a couple of years ago you'd have said Watkins is a 90-minute man, he's not anymore. He's regularly getting taken off, and Marlon goes up top in his place.
Okay. So Matty Cash is your highest scoring FPL player, mate.
Yeah.
So you think if you were on free hit, you'd probably go Cash, Rogers, Watkins?
No, I'd go Martinez, Cash.
You'd go Rogers. Martinez, Cash, and Rogers, and probably not Watkins.
Yeah.
I never thought we'd be in this position with Villa to have a fixture like this and people be free hitting, and I'm not seeing him in teams.
Mm.
How would you look at that, Bradley? Too defensive, or would you want to stick Watkins in?
I mean, given that he's only scored 1 all season and Wolves are limping up, you can imagine. I can imagine him scoring, but I'd place more. I'd probably go too defensive. To be fair, just watching us play, it's like it's hopeless. It's hit and hope in the box, hope for the best. So I'd be more confident in the defense. To be fair, keeping.
Your mate Menetzi's got 8 more FPL points than Watkins.
Well, he's one of the best players in world football, isn't he? So he's got more Premier League goals than Isaac and Wirtz combined, and they cost like 300 million together.
Bradley, the audio listeners might not be able to understand your sarcasm. I don't know if that's going to be coming through correctly or not.
He has more goals and assists than Isaac and Wirtz put together, and they cost 100 million each. What more can you expect?
So are you saying steam into him at 5.4, mate?
Yeah, steam into him. He gets DEFCON as well. Like Wirtz can't even get DEFCON. Menetzi beats on every metric this season, and it's actually true at the moment, so we'll keep going with it.
All right. Why do you dislike him so much?
Have you watched him play?
A couple of times. I can't say he stood out. I don't think I've ever seen him kick a ball. All I've ever seen, he makes good off the ball runs. That was kind of the trait last year, wasn't it? Good off the ball runs.
Loses the ball a lot, bounces off him a lot, messes up easy passes. He's just there to run around. Like I can't say he doesn't try his hardest, but I could definitely grab somebody who's playing on a park who will be a better technical footballer than him. I can guarantee it. I will guarantee it.
I'll bring my boats to Villa Park on Sunday. I'm free.
I'll sort it playing on that thing. You can definitely pass the ball.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, they called me Pirlo. They didn't call me Menetzi. Okay, fine. Talk to me about Krejci. What is he? Is he a defender or a midfielder?
I think he's a centre back.
Okay.
Most of his career has been spent centre back. I bet he can't wait to get going after his loan. It's supposed to be an obligation.
He's not permanent.
That won't happen. It's supposed to be an obligation, but I don't know why. I mean, the obligation's £30 million, so they won't trigger that when them going down.
Okay. What about your mate Hwang? How's he doing?
Great. Did you see his assist for Palace on Saturday?
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. He's dead. Did you see his penalty for safe career?
I unfortunately did see that, yeah.
That's 3 penalties he's missed this season. He's literally just there to sell tat in the club shop, I think.
Okay. What's John Arias there for then?
God knows. I don't know what's gone wrong with him. He looks a good signing on paper, but he just don't fit in the team. Or he's got ability.
He caught everybody's attention in the summer, mate. Everybody who watched that tournament knew him.
Got ability, but I don't know what's happened with him. Like he missed a sitter, didn't he? Saturday as well. To be fair,
yeah, it didn't look great.
He blocked Larson from scoring it as well.
So if we're looking 3-5-2 moving forward, strongest team is what? Johnson and goal still.
Yeah. Right back. God, do you know what? Because he's injured at the minute, but
The
still
doc.
dirty. At
Okay.
least I can trust him. He knows what he's doing in that position. He can't get in the box anymore like he could, but he's not going to be as bad. Agbadou looked a bit better on Saturday, to be fair, so he probably keeps his place. Krejci, I guess they'll have. I guess he'll play Totti because he's left-footed, but I'll drop him, to be fair. So
Left
put Bueno
back.
in. Left back. Hugo Bueno was a bit more athletic, I think, than
He's had
Wolf.
the majority of the favouritism for a while now.
Yeah,
It's
he
not helped that
started.
you had this Rodrigo Gomez injury as well.
Yeah, we miss him. Yeah, he
Uh,
was played.
any chance of minutes for another player? I know you love Kai Hoover.
He might get some, to be fair, watching Chachua, because Hoover is crap as well, but he's not as crap on the ball. He will actually try and, get
There's got to be a
forwards.
line here about cleaning up crap or something, doesn't there? There's got to be.
Like Hoover's crap, but the level of crap that Chachua's served up at the minute. Like, you're a wing back and you're rapid, get forward. He's like the worst crapid player ever. If you're crapid, you've got to use your pace. He don't even want to use his pace.
I don't know. I feel like Crapid was invented specifically for a Wolves player once upon a time, Bradley.
Hey, respect to Dama. He's like,
Would you take him back?
yeah, with a heartbeat. Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's the first time Bradley smiled all podcast.
Yeah.
So midfield three, we're now saying, is it Manetzi with Andre and João Gomez? Is that what we're expecting?
It looks like it. He may as well just play Fair Lopez in front of him because we need somebody who can play football in that position. Makes me laugh. Apparently, they say he doesn't play because I don't trust him yet on the ball. Like, he loses the ball. And like, well, yeah, he's trying to create something, but it's all right for Wang to come on and lose the ball all the time. What's the difference?
And Tolu up front, what can you tell people about him? If he's going to play with Larson regularly now.
Yeah, he played all right Saturday, to be fair. He was in the game. I'm not fully convinced he's a proper target man, though. I feel like
big lad, isn't he?
Yeah, the goals he's scored for us have all been goals where he's running behind. So I'm not convinced he's like a fully blown target man, because people assume that about Larson, but he's really not. He likes to run onto the ball as well, really. But we'll see with Tolu. He took both his goals well that he scored, but again, he doesn't get enough service in the actual 6-yard box to really test how good he's in the air, to be fair, in that sort of situation.
Okay, Lee, give me a summary before we finish on Villa assets and who's safe from a minutes perspective. Whether you think they're good, bad, whatever. Who's safe from a minutes perspective moving forward?
Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Torres until Mings is back fit. Kamara, McGinn, Rogers, Watkins.
Not Tielemans.
He's only just back from injury, isn't he? So I think there's just that small chance that maybe he can't manage 3 games in a week yet. That's the only caveat with Tielemans. If he's fully fit, then yeah, you can add him to that list.
Who's taking your penalty on Sunday?
I knew you were going to ask me this.
It's what I'm for.
Marco Bizot.
Good answer.
Honestly, it's really hard to call. So I'm not saying this with massive confidence, but I think it would be Watkins.
Even if Tielemans on the pitch?
Yeah.
Really? We might actually get a penalty save then. Put Sam Johnston in, everyone.
The thing is, we all know Watkins is crap.
It's going to look so weird when I've cropped that into the intro.
We all know Watkins is crap at penalties, and we knew that before this season started. But sure enough, the first penalty we got this season, Watkins stepped up and missed it. But he just keeps wanting to take them. So I don't see that changing.
At Leeds, Morgan Rogers decided to take some responsibility and take a free kick. Right. Most people have seen him take a penalty. He's the penalty taker, isn't he?
I know what you want me to say, but I don't think he is. I wish he was. I hope he is.
Go and get the ball, mate. Like, I'm probably not going to own him at the weekend, and I want him to grab the ball if you get a penalty. I'm so tired of this.
Me too, mate. Me too.
Gents, thank you both so much. Good luck. Let's do some correct score predictions before we finish. Firstly, Lee, sorry, do you think you'll finish top 8 Europa League?
Top 8? Yeah, I think so.
You're in a decent position, aren't you?
Yeah. The underlying data is concerning.
What, in that as well?
What,
in that as well? As in Europa League underlying data is bad as well, is it?
Oh, no. Sorry, I thought you were saying, do you think you'll finish top 8 and qualify for Europe next season?
No, in Europa League top 8. So, you skip around.
Oh, sorry.
You don't finish top 8 with the amount of shit in this league, Lee, when you're winning 6 out of 7. I don't quite understand that.
Yeah, I would hope that we get top 8 in the Europa League.
Okay. Where do you think you finish in the Premier League? I won't ask Bradley.
I think between 5th and 7th.
Correct score prediction for Sunday.
2-0 Villa.
Bradley?
I'll say 3-0 Villa.
Confident as ever. Our time for bleach jokes is over. I wish you particularly good luck, Bradley. Anything you want to plug before we finish, Lee?
No, what's your score prediction there, mate?
2-1 Wolves.
No, nothing to plug from me, mate.
Would you be surprised?
You know me, I normally plug Patreon. I'm not bothering today after that prediction.
Bradley, anything you want to plug?
# save Wolves Slack. That's all I've got this season to live on.
If you want to save Wolves Slack on Patreon, I suggest you start winning some bloody football matches, mate. Very best of luck. Ask James scheduled for 3 p.m. on Thursday. That may well change. Keep an eye on socials. Otherwise, it will be 3 p.m. David will be with me for the weekender. There is a clash of correspondence next week as well, ahead of game week 14. That'll be out for you early on Tuesday. That's Burnley versus Crystal Palace with Jack Toner and Rory McLaughlin Dow. Just leaves me to say good luck. Thanks again, Lee and Brad. Cue music, please. Man child.